Waters presents On the Box.
Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of On the Box. I don't feel good today because there is none who is good, and I don't go by feeling.
That's good. And I feel a little giddy after that twirl when we came in.
Wow. It's almost, I don't know. How you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Yeah? Mm-hmm. Wait a minute. You just admonished me before we went on air. When I said you asked me. You even set me up.
I said, hey, you're feeling good.
Yeah, and then you said there's none good. We don't go by feelings.
That's
and
right.
You just said you're doing good.
By grace. Through faith.
Bosses. Mark, how are you doing today?
Doing great. Here's the thing. We're learning about social media, right? And social media has a lot of aspects, and I had no idea. So we have our buddy Shane in here, and he's teaching us about Facebook and Twitter and YouTube on how to go about using those things for the glory of God. So I'm actually doing really great as I learn about all those things. Morally, I'm not good.
Okay. The big question, though, is, Mark, are you going to start the blog?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah?
I do. I want to blog, and I want to
We got a blog waiting for you, man.
I want
On
to
the box
Twitter.
Twitter.
Mark,
Tweet.
it's so good to have your voice back.
Yeah.
Yesterday, Mark was voiceless. It was an answer to prayer for everyone around here.
He had a froggy in his throat.
He had croaked. There was nothing. It was,
Even bigger question is, will we get easy on Facebook?
Oh, that'd be good.
Well, that would be well.
He's very talented.
Yes. He is very talented. We could just sit here for the rest of the time. OnTheBox.us is the blog. OnTheBox.us is the blog where Mark will soon be blogging. No pressure. And it's really good to have Shane in the building. I've learned a lot. And
Do we know who Shane is?
Yeah, he was the guy in the building.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's
Thank
the
you.
social media guy.
Yes, he's really helping. It's wonderful.
He is really helping. He's working with Greg L. Sasser.
And Greg was very
which
impressed.
shows how patient Shane is. Because he's working side by side with Greg L. Sasser. So, but they're doing a good job trying to manage the unmanageable. Us here at Living Waters. Yeah, okay. Send us your questions, your concerns, your cares at onthebox@livingwaters.com, onthebox@livingwaters.com. Yesterday was a big day.
It was a big day.
And what followed after the show was really big too. The atheists are in a tizzy.
They're running around in circles like
They're
a cat with
like
its tail on a rat trap.
chickens with their heads cut off.
That's a double analogy.
What?
It's like a cat with a rat trap on its tail.
Yeah. And the pro-abortion, pro-murder folks, they're coming unglued, unhinged. I mean, I actually was exchanging some tweets on Twitter with a woman who runs a blog called The Golden Coat Hanger. Is that disgusting?
Sweetie, yeah.
Yeah. She prides herself in being child-free. And I think the world's a better place because she doesn't have any children. But
Yeah.
it takes more than biology to be a parent. But
Yes.
all right, well, in the last 24 hours, since we released the 180 promo, we've received more than 100 donations to the project, which is a wonderful start. And we're very thankful for that. But what we really want to do, what we believe the vision is that God has given us for this project is going to take not only hundreds of people donating to the effort, but thousands, literally thousands. And so we want you to promote the promo on the trailer on Facebook, on Twitter. Ray, hundreds of people have changed their Facebook profile picture to the 180 logo.
Wow, that's wonderful.
On Twitter as well. And word is really going out, as is evident by the fact that guys like Peasy Myers is all upset.
My friend Peasy.
Your friend Peasy. And he did not have a nice thing to say about you.
He doesn't usually.
But I thanked him
on
Twitter. I call me a cretin for it, but I thanked him on Twitter for...
What's a cretin? Like in the book of Jude?
No, not people from Crete. No, Cretan.
Slow bellies, Grecians?
It's not.
No.
He wasn't being my friend.
Okay.
Yeah. But I thanked him, because his blog gets, 100,000 hits a day, and so he put our trailer out to hundreds of thousands of people.
He didn't alter it? Just put it as it is.
Nope, he didn't alter it. Yeah,
God
just put it
bless
up.
him.
Yeah, thank you for the free advertisement, PZ. And again, atheists and pro-murder folks, we want you to talk a lot about the trailer. We want you to share it with your friends. We want you to complain about it because more and more people will see it, which means more and more people will see the documentary, which means more and more people will change their mind, and they will be reasonable, unlike some of the folks we're dealing with. We did get an email from, where is she? Lisa. She said, "Hi, I donated money to the project. I'm totally pro-life, but if this is something that can change somebody's mind in seconds, why on earth would you wait until the 26th of September to release it? Why not just write a newsletter or something explaining the movie strategy instead of keeping it a mystery? Don't you think it's important to share this ASAP? I support you guys and love your ministry. Please understand my concern." We do, Lisa. We want this out yesterday, don't we?
Do we ever? We wanted it out months ago.
But why are we waiting?
Yeah, well, we've got to finish the video. It hasn't got closed caption on yet. We're getting that done. Make sure the sound is correct because we want to do this thing properly. We don't want to reach thousands with this. We want to reach millions. And if we'd released it earlier, it would have reached thousands. If we released it at the right date with the right social media and the right guys helping us, and the right funds to get billboards everywhere and bumper stickers and T-shirts, advertising, and on secular radio, secular television, Christian radio, Christian television. 14 television networks have agreed to air the program, which is just wonderful. And so our holding back was with purpose in mind to reach more, millions instead of thousands. So we feel your pain, and we feel it too.
Yeah, it's been difficult to be patient.
For you it has been. You've been screaming for months.
Well, it was funny. Alan was working on putting the finishing touches to an aspect of the 180 movie site, a very important part of it. And we knew we were going to let the site go public and release that before the show. And so we're literally just standing outside of Alan's office. Are you done yet? Are you done yet? Barbara Cameron was in.
5 of us.
Yes.
Walked in.
In fact, I had Barbara Cameron come over. She was helping
6.
out, so I had her barge into his office. So, "You done yet?" Which was funny coming from her. So, but,
Tony, I'm reminded with that question. Why don't we just release this video now? I'm reminded of the verse that God makes all things beautiful in his timing. When Adam and Eve had sinned, why didn't he at that point send Jesus Christ? Well, he had a purpose.
Yeah.
Or how about that little interim of silence between Malachi and Matthew? You have those hundreds of years in between with where was God during that time? Was he not working? Was he not doing something? Was he not interested in his creation? No, obviously he was. There's a plan behind the whole methodology with it. And Ray hit it. We still have to do closed captioning with it. We have to make sure, the subtitles are all right. We need to make sure that it passes a tech when we put it up, was that a tech check or something along that lines where we can check different DVDs. So we want to get it out there. Rest assured, with God's help, it's going to get out there and to be in prayer. Now we have more people praying to be able to get behind that efforts, and when it goes out there, we trust that God's going to use it to save many people's lives, both physically and spiritually.
Yeah,
That's true, Matt.
It's so important to remember that we want people all over the world to watch the documentary online, but our vision is to see the DVD actually get into every home in America and beyond. And one of the things we're planning to do is we're planning to give away 200,000 copies of the DVD on college and university campuses in one day.
So we've ordered those. It's all underway. We're doing it.
Yeah, we're doing it. What we need now is we need manpower.
What date are we doing it, Tony?
We're doing it someday in the future. Yeah. Wow. I heard hearts stop upstairs. Ron literally fell down the stairs, rushing in here probably. No, we're not going to announce the day because there are those who hate what we're doing and hate unborn children.
We will announce the year.
Yes.
2011 we'll be doing it.
Will we?
Yes, this year.
See, I was going to say sometime in the 21st century.
Spread it out.
Yeah. But you can't help us. We are looking for people to lead teams onto these campuses around the country, small campuses, large campuses. Email us at...
So what campuses are we going to, Tony?
Several. Yeah, it's so funny. Some of the atheists actually think they know where we're going.
Yeah.
They have no clue. They don't have a clue. But email us at heartchanger@livingwaters.com, heartchanger@livingwaters.com. I am going to be asking you some questions if you email us. Where do you go to church? Who's your pastor? How can I get a hold of them? Because with the Origin Project, atheists who think they're smarter than they actually are said, "Oh, I'd love to be involved in the project." And, "Oh yeah, where do you go to church? Who's your pastor?" Yeah, well, so they did. Yeah, it's very funny. But HeartChanger at livingwaters.com, we do need your help. We want to amass an army of thousands to get the documentary out in one day to maybe as many as 250,000 people. So.
There's some people that have said to me that people don't watch DVDs, and I went with Greg Alsasser when he gave it 100 at Cerritos College, and I followed people that took it and said, "Did you take that out of politeness? Are you going to really watch it?" And they said, "Oh, definitely."
Yeah.
And it's because about 200 million DVDs were sold in 2010. So it's a medium maybe the older generation don't use because we can't work those DVD players, but the younger generation know how to push it in and push the button, and it works for them. So it's a medium they do use, so we're excited to do it. And it's not kind of limited like the book, Darwin's Boring Book. It's one person at a time. A whole lot of people can watch a DVD at a time, so that's exciting.
It's interesting. Some of the atheists are shouting on Twitter and Facebook and other places that after watching the trailer said, "Oh, they must have used actors because reasonable people don't change their minds." No, there were no actors, were there? Right?
No,
none
at all.
In fact, after the conversations with some of those folks, you know for certain they weren't acting, nor would they ever be an actor. So, especially the ones who said, "I don't know who." No, I'm not going to say that. I almost. Oh, that was close.
It was?
Let's go to the giveaway. Yeah, I almost said something I shouldn't. But I caught myself. Third prize for this week's giveaway: 5 packs of $1 trillion bills.
There they are.
There they are. Second prize is a hardcover edition of the New Evidence Bible. And why would the Evidence Bible be second prize? Because we're going to give away 2 registrations to the 2011 Deeper Conference.
Whoa.
October 14th and 15th at Calvary Community Church in Westlake Village here in Southern California. Go to deeperconference.com and register. Deeperconference.com and register. Please do not wait till the last minute to register. Very, very important that we know that you're coming. Email us at onthebox@livingwaters.com if you want to enter the giveaway. Onthebox@livingwaters.com. Full name, full address, and your zip code. Please enter only once. We'll announce the winners on Monday. Does this seem like a subdued day to you?
Yeah.
Okay.
There hasn't been much yelling.
There hasn't been much yelling. Well, we're going to go over to Cerritos College immediately after the show. Maybe there'll be some yelling over there.
Yeah, I'm sure there will be.
At least a little voice raising.
We should bring up the subject of abortion, see if we can stir something up today.
I'm with you all the way.
Yeah, let's see what happens.
Yeah, I was thinking about that too. Yeah. You'll start it though. Okay. Let's go to some Q&A here. I watch On the Box regularly, and I have been encouraged by the show. I was witnessing to someone who claimed to be a Christian existentialist.
I don't know what that means.
Okay. He told me that heaven has many different meanings to different people. Therefore, there is no proof of a physical heaven.
So can you define an existentialist?
Oh, Mark.
Let's cross over to the
Dean's desk.
The definometer.
Well, here's the problem with existentialism. It's where each individual gets to define for themselves the meaning of life, and when you figure out what the meaning of life is, you need to live it out passionately and sincerely. Okay, so if my meaning of life is to try to rob as many banks as I possibly can, and that becomes my meaning of life in this esoteric world, well then should I do that? Well, the answer should be yes, do that. And do it with all you got, be passionate about it, try to tell other people about that, but you're not trying to win people over to your cause or your worldview because nobody's wrong in that worldview. So my answer simply to the person who begins to say, hey, I think hell is more metaphorical, it's not a literal place, my answer is, how do you know? How do you know that it's not a physical place? What do you rely upon? So you have to go back to the Bible to be able to get your answers for all things concerning truth here on earth and when you die. Existentialism.
So, all right, so Mark, now this person who claimed to be a Christian existentialist, can a Christian be an existentialist?
You know, C.S. Lewis was condemned at times for being an existentialist for some of his writings, but it wasn't the case. You know, a lot of times when you write in a poetical form, you aren't really getting to a meaty matter. You know, you can look at John Bunyan's book that he wrote inside prison. What is it?
Pilgrim's Progress.
Pilgrim's Progress. You think, well, okay, it's a little bit more metaphorical, and they begin to apply all things tangible and touchable to being metaphorical. Well, there's nothing wrong with that in a poetical sense, but when you begin to adhere to that theologically, then you have issues. So if you go down to the deep heart of things, there is no such thing as a Christian existentialist. You have to grab a hold of something tangible, because Jesus didn't speak just metaphorically or allegorically. He referred to hell as being a literal place and referred to heaven as being a literal place. I go and I prepare a place for you.
Right.
He didn't say I go to prepare a place for you metaphorically. He said, no, where I go, you are going to go also. And he told the thief on the cross that you will be with me as well. So, no, if you're going to be a Christian, then you have to take certain things literal. Now, what things do you take literal in the Word of God? Well, the things that say literal. You know, the things that are literal. You know, those distinctions are made all throughout the book of Revelation. You say, well, how do you take the book of Revelation? Do you take the Bible even? Do you take it figurative or do you take it literal? Well, I take it both. I take it figurative where I need to take it figurative, and I take it literal where I need to take it literal. It's not rocket science, and anybody can do that. So if you're a Christian, then...
Such as pulling the plank or the board out of your own eye. Most people aren't walking around with
it's
a 2x4 sticking out of their noggin.
Absolutely.
Right.
Hyperbole, which just simply means justified exaggeration.
Yeah.
So
I've told you a million times not to say that.
A million.
Mm-hmm.
A million and
That's a
one
justified
now.
exaggeration.
A million and one.
Yeah, heaven is very real, and because we've got the greatest authority on the earth to tell us it is, and that's the Word of God.
Now, I have the book on my shelf. I haven't cracked it open yet, but I have heard that Randy Alcorn's book, titled Heaven, is probably one of the best books out there currently on the subject. Very detailed.
We love Randy. He's great.
We do love Randy Alcorn, yeah. All right, if I were to commence open-air preaching, I like that, commence. Commence firing! If I were to commence open-air preaching to a captive audience somewhere, like a bunch of people standing in line before a concert or sporting event, what distance should I stand from them so as to seem non-threatening or over-aggressive?
I would say about 20 feet, and I'm serious. I'm serious, because if you're too close, you spray them, and make them feel a little bit intimidated. If you're too far away, you have to yell at them.
Yes.
So you need to get to a place, depending on wind direction and acoustics, but where you can lift your voice. You're not too close to intimidate them, and not far away enough to have to yell at them.
And you do want a little bit of a buffer, because you don't want them to be able to just reach out and grab you and pull you off the box. And
Yeah.
All right, Mark, anything to add to that one? That was pretty quick and easy.
No, I was actually in the chat room.
Good. Is anything going on in there?
Yeah, you know, well, here's an interesting question, and it's outside of the realm of evangelism, but I think it's a very, I think it's something that we can address.
The Steelers are going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah. This person says, my uncle died of a heart attack at the age of 46, and I'm still having trouble grieving over his death. What do you think is the best way to grieve? I mean, this person wants to do it in a healthy way. They don't know how to go about grieving over that. I don't know if the person...
We have any idea how long ago that was?
You know, I don't, but I know it's very real to the individual. And I don't know if the person was a Christian. I know as Christians, we grieve as those who have hope, not as those who don't have hope. Right? We have hope in the resurrection. We have hope that we're going to see an individual again. David said when his son had died, hey, he can't come to me, but I can go to him. You know, I'm reminded of the atheist who said, don't talk to me about a loving God when I'm kneeling at the bed of a dying child. Don't tell me your God is loving when I'm trying to deal with the death of my child. Well, William Lane Craig said, well, what do you say as an atheist? What, as an atheist, do you say to your little girl when you look into her eyes as she's dying? Do you say, sorry about that? Tough luck? That's the way it is? Because as an atheist, that's all you've got. That's the only hope you have. But as a Christian, I can look down into my little girl's eyes who loves the Lord and say, honey, I will be with you soon. You're heading to home, and I'm homesick for a home I've never been to. I'll see you at dinner, and I'm going to bring some friends. You know, so what do you do if you're grieving? In my eyes, I would say, hey, you need to go to the Word of God. Open up the Psalms and take hope that the Lord is with you. We take refuge under the shadow of His wings, that He's a very present help in time of need, that we can cast all of our cares on Him, knowing that He cares for us. And use this, allow this to have eternity stamped on your eyelids, that whether you're awake or you're asleep, you have those thoughts and those visions of Him. So you run to Christ, you cling to Him, because he's your only hope. Without him, you've got nothing. Ray, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that's a good answer, and I've got an answer myself that's slightly different. Notice I lost my mum and dad in the last 4 or 5 years, my mum more recently, and I bawled my eyes out, but I realized that grief can actually kill you. It can destroy you, and what you've got to realize is you've got control over your thought life, and if you go down grief alley, it has no end. It goes downhill and drag you down, and what you've got to do is bawl your eyes out, but don't let those memories that cause grief and steal your joy pull you down. You've got control over your thoughts. And I just say to myself, I'm not going there. And I don't go there. And I just carry on reaching out to the lost.
Yeah. I like what Paul said. Philippians 4, verse 8, finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, and if there be any praise, think on these things. I think one of the best antidotes for grieving is to think of things above, to dwell on the things of Christ. And another thing, too, is to be other-minded. Instead of being so introspective into your own emotions and own feelings, and I'm not saying it's wrong to grieve. I mean, we all grieve. But one of the best ways to get out of that grieving process is to, one, think of things above, think of those things that are pleasing to God, and think of others more than yourself. Go out and do something for someone else. Be other-minded instead of dwelling so much on your own thoughts and your own cares.
And speaking of things lovely and things positive, we have the PalmQuest family here from Idaho who are in our studio as our laughing audience today, an applauding audience. You may have heard one of their kids sneeze when Mark was talking, and was a great sneeze.
Yep, it was a good sneeze.
It was a good sneeze.
It's a good sneeze.
So that's what they do in Idaho. Let's give him.
Sequoia River and Arrow, 16-3.
That's the names of the kids.
That's the names of the kids.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, really good.
And the license plate on your car, Wayne, is... That's okay, that's right. Got him to laugh. We got him to laugh.
Oy.
We did that without you. Really working hard at it. All right. I was curious how you handle situations where you hear things that are so wrong that they are truly offensive. Sunday, I heard a pastor preaching a message that was so wrong I was offended. He began his sermon with, quote, the two truths we are going to review today are truth 1, evolution is true, and truth 2, God doesn't always make a difference. I do not attend this church, but my niece has unfortunately been baptized by this pastor this last Sunday. I want to approach him and my sister about my concerns, but I'm really not sure how to do it in a way that is biblical or right. It was very tough to sit through that sermon.
Well, I don't know what I would have done. Maybe I would have stood up and said, give me my kid, I'm out of here. I don't know.
You think so?
Yeah, I don't know.
Do you think there's a time, Ray, when it's appropriate to stand up and...
I would think so. I just stand up and say, excuse me, so you're not preaching the truth. I have to leave, and I'm taking my family, and just leave. I mean, the pastor would remember that, I think.
He would.
If you let him go without a rebuke, and reprove, rebuke, exhort with all patience and doctrine, maybe, I hope I'd have the courage to do that, but I've never sat in
after the fact, what do you suggest our friend does here? Does he just let it rest? Does he go to this path? He doesn't attend the church. It's not
well,
his
what I would
pastor.
like to do is defer to Mark, who hasn't got a clue what we're talking about because he's typing.
What's the subject?
All right, Mark, here it is. Real fast. Here it is. You're sitting in a church. It's not your church. You're listening to a pastor. He's not your pastor. He says we're going to look at two truths today. One is evolution, and one, God doesn't always matter much.
Okay, so
what do you do? You're hearing false teaching from the pulpit.
Yeah.
He wants to know how to approach the pastor afterwards.
Okay, first of all, as I look at the questions, I agree that evolution is true. Microevolution is true. You know, we have slight changes within a species, not to another species, but within the species. There's no transitional form. There's no macroevolution from one species to another species. So truth 1, I agree with. And the truth number 2 was that God doesn't make a difference.
Yeah,
I agree.
Yeah, he doesn't always make a difference.
Right, I agree that God doesn't always make a difference to somebody like P.Z. Myers, but he is going to make a difference when he attempts to stand before him on that day, when he will reluctantly bow his knee and confess that Jesus Christ is Lord, and it will bring glory to God the Father in heaven. Now, if I'm inside of a sanctuary setting and an individual begins to talk like that, I might even begin to show my disdain by my body language, or just going, oh, I mean, one time I was taking a class in college, and my professor is geology, and he started talking about evolution, and I got the giggles. It seemed so ridiculous what he was saying. I started to laugh, and I could not hold it back, to where he ended up stopping the class in the midst of this forum, and he had said, you know, you don't have to necessarily believe this. And I go, it's just so laughable to me. I go, I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt your class. But it was a bit like that. I remember a professor of mine, he had said when he was a pastor over in Colorado, when it hit 12 o'clock, he was supposed to be finished with his sermon. Well, this woman in the front row would begin to sigh at 12:01. She'd go, oh, until finally, as he continued on with his sermon, she would go, front row. So he went to God in prayer and said, God, how long do I have to put up with this individual? And he sensed the Lord saying, as long as you need her to be there, she's going to be there. So I think when I'm inside of a situation, I have no problem maybe laughing or saying amen. We tend to do that inside of a sanctuary anyways. How about, I don't know about that. And throwing the preacher off of his mark. Enough to where if you have enough people that are reliable within their foundation, they know what they believe and why they believe, and you have these people kind of scattered throughout the sanctuary, he's not going to be able to finish his sermon, and he might even take the questions or handle the hecklers from the pews. But if we just kind of sit there silently, what are they going to do? And I've seen it happen before, where a pastor's now going to, or the teacher is going to address that what seems to be an objection. I've done it when I teach. When I think I'm not connecting with the people, I'm going to expound a little bit on something that's being shared. So you think that you're not being seen or heard, but you can be seen and heard when you're out there inside the pew. So there's ways to address that, I think, right there at the moment, in a very loving and respectful manner.
Right?
I don't know if I know about that, Mark.
What?
I don't know if I know about that.
You don't know if you know about it?
I'm putting into practice what he said. I'm saying out loud, I don't know if I know about it. It's good.
I think I would politely, quietly, because I'm not a very boisterous person.
Draw your gun.
No, never. No. But after the service, I would walk up to the pastor and I would politely say, you know, Pastor, false conversion begins in the pulpit, not in the pew. You need to repent and believe the gospel because you're lost. Yeah. So with that, if you want to learn how to do that, come to Transformed. Watch this video.
You are a straight shooter.
Come to Transformed.
If you were to gauge your Christian walk from 1 to 10, where would you put it? Maybe a 7 or even an 8. If it's anything less than a 10, you need to come to Transformed.
You've got to go to the Transform Conference.
You on fire for God? Blazing? Maybe you just don't have as much enthusiasm as you once did.
We've been blessed to have tens of thousands of people attend our Transform conferences from all over the country.
Your Christian walk will be radically changed
By the renewing of your mind.
The content is hard-hitting, the pace is fast-moving, and most importantly, the truth you'll hear is nothing short of revolutionary.
If you'll commit to attending Transform and apply what you hear, we guarantee you will never be lukewarm again.
I promise you, your walk will be transformed.
Come to Transformed. Transformed is a free event. For more information, visit livingwaters.com. That's www.livingwaters.com.
All right, so we do hope you will join us September 17th up at Calvary Chapel, South Denver. It will be the Colorado premiere of 180. And Ray, you've got a request before we head
pray
out?
for us when we're at Cerritos College over the next hour or so, 2 hours.
The football players are big over there, big old Samoans.
They are big boys, aren't they? Yeah, that's why we need to take our box. Eye-to-eye preaching.
Eye-to-eye preaching.
So keep us in prayer if you
All
want.
right, so until tomorrow, be encouraged, strengthened, and unafraid. Proclaim the gospel. Or join us at Cerritos College.
You're full of it!
Living Waters presents On the Box.